Hello, Kai. Here is your sewer scope from this morning's inspection. That's me in the little basement utility room, whatever you want to call it. There's the clean out on the main sewer stack right at the joint. Relatively easy to get off, which was nice. Sometimes with cast iron, they're frozen on there because they've been there for decades, and you've got to blow torch them off or cut them out, whatever. But this was easy. We're in cast iron, probably for about a little over 14 feet. Somewhat scaled. I mean, not an immediate concern, but sometime in the future you might want to have the pipe cleaned and descaled, just basically to help with drainage, keep it from wanting to grab onto paper products and such. Not a fun thing to spend money on, but hey. This is a change to clay. Unfortunately, right at this connection, you can see the crack right there on the bottom, and then going around the circumference of the pipe. There'll be still pictures in your report, but that would definitely be something that I would want to have addressed. It may be stable, but when you have a crack of, I don't want to say that magnitude, but that magnitude, it's not going to get any better, and potentially that's a position that could fail. So I would definitely consider having that improved. Coming up, we've got a PVC section, roughly about 8 feet or so of pipe. So this was a repair section at some point. So the clay section that was here had issues, failed, whatever. So they replaced with plastic PVC. Good pipe. Repair was done properly, it looks like. But again, that just kind of speaks back to how fragile the pipe is. When you get to being over 100 years old, there's concerns. Again, assuming that this pipe is original to the house and they didn't go from just, an outhouse to city sewer. Regardless, we're still up there in age. You've got some minor root growth here and there. We just don't know when the last time the pipe was cleaned, right? So it may not have been cleaned in 20 years. So you have little concern about root protrusion and things like that. On the other hand, it might have been cleaned out, 2 months ago, and it populates back in relatively quickly. So ultimately, what I would say is come back and revisit the pipe again in another year or a year and a half, and see if there's any new growth or where it stands. And here we are at the city connection, 57 feet roughly. Other than that crack, everything looked really good in the pipe. We talked about insurance earlier today. There's also a blurb in the home inspection report about considering additional coverage. So just something for you to think about there. I'm obviously keeping the camera rolling as I pull back. You're welcome to watch the rest of the return journey. Reach out to me if you have any questions. I'm always happy to be a resource.